everyone. Today on the G3 Boardroom, we are going to be talking about horrified Greek monsters. It's kind of fitting because it's around the Halloween season, so we wanted to play a horrified game.
In 2023.
Yeah.
You might watch it at Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a Halloween special.
Yes.
Should have pumpkins.
But
Yeah.
I'd like to say before we start, go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe. Really helps the channel out. If you only watch videos for normally like 30 seconds, please watch it a little bit longer. Help us out. Really helps. And then comment at the bottom and let us know what you think of the game. That being said, take it away, Bob.
Get us to that 31-second mark.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, alphabetical order. Bob.
Yeah, well, let me just go over before we Horrified. If you didn't see our playthrough, it's a game where you're trying to move around, you're collecting items, and you use those items to dismiss, kill, and send back to Hades the different monsters. And this is very similar to the other Horrified games that are out there. Very similar. Except it's just different monsters that do different things.
I'm going to change our thing from review to these are really our initial thoughts. We played a lot of the other Horrified game, and not so much this one. So those are really our initial thoughts from our first run, but it runs pretty much identical with the monsters being different.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about some other differences and some other similarities.
Yeah.
Obviously the monsters are all different, but the way that the monsters act and the things that the monsters do are really not that different. You could put these monsters in with the regular Horrified, and it wouldn't be so different from the original Horrified mechanics that it wouldn't fit.
Absolutely. I mean, you could easily play with these guys on the other Horrified game. But
Yeah, so the mechanics are the same between this and the original Horrified,
Absolutely.
and I'm assuming American Monsters also have not played that one.
Absolutely. Anyway, let's hear it, Bob. What do you got?
Overall, it was a fun game. A lot of things to do for each players, which was nice. Some of the rules could be vague a little bit, at least when it came in regards to the unlocked door for Cerberus. Yeah, but
That looks like one roll.
Yeah.
It's 7 rolls.
otherwise, I see it's for 10 plus and 1 to 5, so it would probably be good for younger players to actually kind of learn some of the Greek myths and history. So
Yeah.
never thought it kind of as an educational moment too, but
I don't know if we can knock the game for that.
Yes,
because
I
that's
can.
something.
Absolutely,
that's
I
something
can.
that if we would have
No.
read the rules, more thoroughly, I guess.
No. That is misleading. That is 3 dice. How many dice do you roll at a time?
3
dice.
Yeah?
But the rules say 5 doors. The rules say
Yeah.
5 doors.
Still, that's
It's true.
confusing. It shouldn't have to be like that.
It's not, because there's 3 and then 4, 5.
But here's
all
the thing.
5 door tokens.
It,
Yeah,
it
it says that
does
all
say
5
that.
doors.
It does say 5 doors. So make 5 different things, not 2 that go together. That way, you don't have to hyper read the thing. Because it's obvious at that point. To me, that's obviously one roll.
I think
And
what
when you
they're
do
trying
that, it's not.
what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it a.
It's nifty. It's
it
cool.
adds-
It looks like a door.
Yeah, but it's there so it can add the element of you can roll partial. The other ones you have to.
I have to get
Throw
them
all
all in
3.
one throw.
This one you
True.
can open one door or the other if it's a partial.
True, but when you do something for aesthetics that inevitably leads to someone misinterpreting what's going on, then the aesthetics aren't worth it. Just have 2 completely different pieces and explain it a little bit better, and there wouldn't have been that confusion. There wouldn't have been. It's that simple. And I understand it says 5 on there, but if you look at it, that looks like 1.
I mean, how long were we both looking at it saying, or all 3 of us were saying?
Our
we gotta
playthrough
do
is like an hour and a half long, and for an hour and 27 minutes of it, that's one thing.
Yeah, but if we play this, but we're never going to make that mistake again if we play
Yeah,
this.
oh,
game.
sure.
And we played Horrified lots of times, but we've only played this one
So, but
once.
you also
I'm a
mentioned-
little bit hesitant to knock a game for something that's never going to be a problem again for us. It's never going to be a problem
Not
again.
for
knock at
us,
the door.
but how many people played this game where they couldn't get past that because they misinterpreted it and they're like, this game blows, and they chuck it into the fireplace.
And this was supposed to be like the beginner level too?
Yeah, and
So-
that also tells us why we did it wrong. It was supposed to
Yeah.
be beginner
A
level.
little easier than
But I
that.
promise you, someone's going to get that wrong, and they're going to interpret it as the game is just too hard. It's too hard. And they're not going to play it again. And these people probably don't have a YouTube channel. You'll never hear from them again. But you'll run into them at Gen Con or something and be like, oh man, I think the game's great. And they're going to be like, this is what happened to me. I promise you, we're not the only ones to make the error.
We have a responsibility if we're giving a review to sort of look ahead a little bit.
I agree and I disagree. And I disagree because we have a responsibility to tell our experiences on what happened to us. This is what happened.
But if we're idiots,
we're idiots.
there's something.
How much time are you going to cut to us reading the book?
There's some things in this.
The book is 10 pages long, and I read it 19 times.
Yeah. And the mechanics
are set up.
99% of the mechanics of this game are exactly the same as a game we've played a million times. Regular Horrified. Yeah. It was that one little thing. Look, there's some things about this game that are bad that are always going to be bad. Like, we're going to talk about the this warped, rice paper thin. What garbage is that? But that's always going to be a problem unless you laminate it or something. But the thing with this door is that's not going to be a problem. This is a game you find
at Target. It's not going to always be at like a high level gaming,
and it's not expensive. It's $40 retail, but I expect a little bit higher quality on the cardboard. These cards are quite bad. These are going to wear out instantly. Sleeve them.
But then again, it's a game for 10+. So
10+. We're plus.
I expect quality. I expect quality. All right, so let's get on to that. Okay. So the pieces.
Bob, you totally hijacked your...
no,
go ahead.
No, that's fine. That was my thoughts,
Hand the camera over so I can choke him out. All right. Did you have further thoughts?
No, that's good.
Cool.
No further comments.
All right. So a comment on the quality of pieces. These are nice. The character cards, they're hard cardboard. Yep. They're not going to wear out. They're very nice. Anything that is a card, though, it does feel flimsy. It feels like they didn't use the proper stock. It's a little bit light. These things, the items, which you handle a lot, hard cardboard, I like it. Mm-hmm. They supply their own baggie. You guys all know how I feel about people who supply their own baggie. Yep. We got piles and piles of liquor bags. That says a lot of bad things about us, but we don't need them for this. Got our own bag. We got standees, which are good enough. I'd never take them off of there, but standees as opposed to miniatures does keep the price down. A word on the miniatures. These are okay. They're not bad. Mm-hmm. I'd like to know what some of the painters in the group think about them. I think they're a little bit spongy. But I have no talent. I can't paint. So maybe if you can paint those, I'd really like to see them. Just put that down in the comments and let us know. I do think the rules are fairly clear in the book. I had to reference them because that's my brain that doesn't function more than the rules not being clear. I do have a problem with this, which you just heard the argument about, but such is life. I keep referencing back to the other Horrified game. There was no confusion. There was no misinterpretation.
Well, and this is
Go ahead.
The developers are trying to make the game different. They have to give people a reason to buy this game, so they want to throw in little things that are a little bit different. I'm not saying that they did it well, but
it's aesthetically pleasing. It's cool looking and all that, but it just caused a little bit of confusion.
But once you understand it, then you can have your second and third playthroughs where you fully know the rules. It would go a lot smoother.
I'm not going to be on board with it. I've been confused the whole time, and I really think we would have won earlier on. All that being said, I enjoy the game. It's nice. It's smooth. The actions are as straightforward as they can possibly be. Go here, collect this, do that. I think there are 7 characters in the box, so it gives you a nice wide variety of stuff to do. Bob happened to pick a guy who could just move constantly back to the lair. And so Bob was, trying. You can watch the playthrough. Watch how many times Bob moved back and forth to the lair just to get more stuff. That was a sweet
collected
move.
Some blue stuff and ran back.
I picked a guy who, anytime the horometer moved, I got a card, and so those came in really, really handy too. But yeah, I enjoy this game. I like the model. I like all the other ones. Again, it's on the cheaper side. It's very reminiscent of the other Horrifieds, obviously. But Fate of the Nostromo. The Alien game. Fate of the Nostromo is essentially Horrified, just with an alien skin.
Horrified with aliens,
yeah. But yeah, that's my thought. I'm irritated about this, but this game is very much worth the sticker. It's very much worth $40. You get a lot of replay out of this. It's a good game.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I enjoy all the Horrified games. I do like the good, solid pieces. I think that these pieces, cards like this, I think people know that there's sleeves out there. So I think the developers are getting smart and they're saying, why spend a lot of money in cardstock like this? Let's put our...
But yeah, you can't sleeve this.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that.
And bent
that
out of the box. Bent out of the box.
Yeah. This was brand new out of the box.
Again, it was at Target, which isn't probably good for handling stuff.
I'm not going to forgive it.
But it's in a cardboard box. It should be, if the box was undamaged, then the stuff inside should be
retail. Yes. Stuff gets tossed around.
Fair enough. I don't know why that couldn't have been the hard card stock, like these nice pieces.
Yeah. Well, how many are there? It would have been like this thick. Okay, not too bad then.
No,
yeah, or at least
no, there's
a little bit
not
more.
5, 6.
6.
But again, you put 2 of those per punch board, just knock them out. It's a little bit more expensive for the company, but they last forever.
We did the starting version of it, which specifically picked Cerberus and Basilisk.
Yeah.
Any other time, it's just random.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not just that. It's anytime you're playing this game, you can just choose what you want. Like,
okay.
I'm going to pick these 3 monsters, or these 2, or those 4. Of course, the more monsters you pick to defeat, the harder it becomes. And that, I'm sorry, Jay, we're stepping on your thing. There's one more thing I want to add. The thing about this game, you're always against this clock. And that's the problem. Well, not the problem, but that's what adds pressure to this game. Add a 3rd monster, and would we have beaten a 3rd monster?
Oh.
I don't know.
You can do more than 2?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so if you have more players...
That's true.
That's kind of the problem. If you have more players, the game doesn't scale. I think it doesn't scale well.
The timer goes faster.
It just...
For the rounds.
Right. You cut through the cards quicker. You have less turns. And so if you have people who are unsuccessful, I think, as we are, it becomes much more difficult. I'm sorry. I just want to make that final point. You go ahead.
It also, but if more people, you're more spread out, and we don't have to go very far. Luckily, I had the ability that I could chuck items across the board to people. But if we had an extra person out there, I mean, the number of turns don't go down. The number of individual turns that one person takes goes down.
Yeah.
But the players against the monsters, those number of turns are the same.
Yeah, you guys like Jared Goffing stuff across the board.
The one thing, though, about all the legends is they're always going to come out in the same tile and have the same goal. So there's a little bit of repetitiveness with that, but along with the other randomization, it would make
it really is hard to play a game of this the same 2 times in a row. It really is. You can verify, or you can
vary it enough.
I mean, that's probably the only thing that's going to be repetitive.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I always like to comment on the artwork. I'm not like an artist or anything. I like to comment on the art. I enjoy the art on this. I think it's I think it's well done. I think they put some time into it, and on all the cards.
Absolutely,
yeah, I would agree.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
Nice to look at. Very well done. Mm-hmm. There's not a card in here that I look at like.
Right.
Except for the 1980s punk rocker.
It's so weird.
That's an odd choice. It's an odd choice.
Yeah, this is weird.
I mean, my guy looks like he belongs in Lord of the Rings, actually. So.
Yeah. I mean, the dice have the dice are kind of light. Dice are a little bit light. They sort of look like granite or stone. Like whatever.
A little marble.
Yeah, marble and a little, but whatever. They roll fine.
Yeah, and they're indented. It's not painted on. It's not a sticker.
Yes, that's important.
Yeah, so they're not going to wear out.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we all enjoyed the game, but we have different levels of problems with it. So now you know how we feel about. Like I said, we played lots and lots of Horrifieds, and this. A comparison is the mechanics are all exactly the same as other games. The contrast would be obviously the setting and the little things like the little, they try to get kind of cute with how to take out some of the monsters, and that led to
I'm a simple
some
man.
confusion.
I do like the variation on how to defeat them, so that's good.
Yeah. Anyway, I recommend the game. $40, win new. $40 is worth it.
Oh my gosh!
And as for it being at Target marks stuff down a lot. Wait for a sale and pick this one off. It's worth it.
Yeah, I mean Christmas is coming up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What are you gonna give me? 500
Wow.
subscribers. All right. I think we're good. Go watch that playthrough. And once again, if you had any fun, learned anything here today, or just want to, let me know how dumb I am for getting that wrong. That's fine too. Hit like, hit subscribe, comment in the section below. I'm sorry. Maybe it was just me, but that was confusing to me, and it doesn't need to be. That's the irritation. It doesn't need to
But
be.
it was confusing to me too. But I don't know if it was their fault.
Jason's only fault is he listened to me. Bob's only fault is he listened to me.
Well, looking at it again now, maybe it does need some clarification because.
Oh, it needs clarification.
Yeah, because it could be 2 dice. You might need an exclamation point and a blank in one roll, or 2 blanks in one roll.
I don't know. I just think it could have been clearer.
Yeah.
And if it were clear, we wouldn't have to go fight outside in a second.
And we're kind of
the downfall of the channel because we just argued over
we're
it.
kind of beating a Trojan horse here.
That's
Yeah, why isn't that in here?
It's not a monster.
At least like a
just a
tile or
just
half
a Greek
inch or
thing.
something. But technically, that's not Greek myth, so.
There's no yogurt here either.
Well,
All right.
take us home, Jay.
We'll see you next time.